Good morning. Today is Monday, January 29th, 2024. Stocks continued their upward climb last week as excitement around big tech continued. Positive economic reports stoked investors' belief that the Federal Reserve has indeed pulled off its soft landing. Life is too short to worry about what the next headline could do to your life savings. Hi, my name is Eric Hagan, and I keep my thumb on the pulse of the economy and the markets so my clients can focus on the things that are actually important to them. Thank you for joining me the next few minutes on today's weekly economic video update. Last week, the Dow Jones Industrials Average picked up 0.65%, while the Standard & Poor's 500 gained 1.06%. The NASDAQ Composite Index rose 0.94% for the week, and the MSCI EAFE Index, which tracks developed overseas stock markets, ended a bit higher by 2%. We also saw the 10-year Treasury yield at 4.15%, up 6.68% from a month ago. Big tech was back last week, pushing the Dow and the S&P 500 to new highs early in the week as markets resumed the late fourth quarter rally. The so-called Magnificent Seven stocks, comprising 28% of the S&P 500 index, resumed their pole position at the head of the pack as investors maintained their artificial intelligence-related bullishness and rewarded widespread cost-cutting at many tech giants. While the rally fizzled on Friday, the week's gains were slow but steady. The big economic news last week was better than expected economic growth and inflation news. Real gross domestic product grew at a 3.3% annualized clip in the fourth quarter of 2023, ahead of Wall Street consensus expectations of 2%. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Index, or PCE, one of the Fed's most favored inflation gauges, showed core inflation, which excludes food and energy, cooling in December with an annualized rate of 2.9%, beating consensus expectations. Core inflation was 3.2% on an annualized basis, its lowest level since March 2021. While the inflation update did not move markets much, it helped validate investors' optimism that Fed policy has maintained economic growth while bringing inflation down. The market digested fourth quarter earnings news from some of the largest companies last week with enthusiasm, feeling like FOMO, the fear of missing out, drove much investor sentiment and seemed to build market momentum. While the enthusiasm for AI continues to be one driver of technology stock prices, the spotlight last week was on layoffs. Over 23,000 workers at 85 tech companies have lost their jobs this month. The market appears to be rewarding the cost-cutting measures, with many tech giants repositioning themselves with AI in mind, and some analysts inferring that this emphasis on efficiency may encourage investors. As always, we will continue to keep our finger on the pulse of what's really going on in both the economy and the different investment markets. This week's economic news that we're watching includes the FOMC meeting tomorrow, Tuesday, as well as a report on consumer confidence and the home price index. Then on Wednesday, we have that FOMC announcement, the interest rate decision, as well as the press conference to follow. So it'll be very interesting to see both what they do with interest rates and what Fed Chair Powell says after that announcement. And then Thursday, we have a look at jobless claims, the ISM Manufacturing Index, and the Fed's balance sheet. And then on Friday, we get a look at the employment situation. With SmartMix, we primarily invest in individual stocks, cutting out the many hidden costs that can be found in today's investment products. Some of the individual companies this week that we're watching most notably include some of the big tech names. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we have a look at Microsoft and Alphabet. And then on Thursday, we get reports from Apple, Amazon, and Meta, formerly Facebook, amongst other big companies reporting this week. You can learn about our low-cost, fully transparent, and personalized approach at www.smartmixportfolios.com. And then, as always, later on today, I will be sending out our full economic update for the week. This update includes more than what I talked about here this morning, including our popular weekly tax tip. If you like this email and you're not getting it, you may subscribe on our website, www.investwithccg.com. Hey, this is Eric again. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Here at Capital Consulting Group, we provide personal wealth planning and fiduciary investment management solutions for individuals, couples, and families. To learn how to see your entire financial situation, both today as well as every year into the future, go to clearfinancialfuture.com and watch the short 2-minute video. To learn how we give our clients' life savings the attention it deserves and to see how we're doing, visit smartmixportfolios.com. And lastly, if you'd like help investing your 401k at work, visit me over at 401kinvestmentpros.com. Thank you again for your time today. I'll look for you next week.